human brain has always been an interesting subject to me. Not only because over the years I've learned how to strengthen my own mind, but I understand how much stronger it can be. To avoid unnecessary distractions, temptation, and addictions, understanding how the brain works plays a tremendous role. You can do things and not get attached or fixated or addicted to them, which in return is strengthening your brain. Now, to a certain extent, do not get ahead of yourself on this. But if understood properly, you can utilize this to overcome anything you're dealing with. We're going to use nicotine addiction as an example. Nicotine targets the mesolimbic pathways, which releases dopamine, which is where most people get addicted because the brain looks at nicotine as a reward now. Your introspection and self-awareness is highly important to help you recognize your internal states, which is partly housed in the insula, observing things without reacting impulsively. Your cognitive appraisal, your mindset, your beliefs, your identity play a tremendous role. I'm not the type of person to get addicted, which shifts your brain. Your conscious narrative can rewire the loop, can override the entire narrative. Utilizing your prefrontal cortex and your interoception awareness, you can override the dopamine reward circuitry that normally drives the addiction itself. It's a skill that you can build and learn. But instead of forcing or having a bad experience, instead, you just tell your brain, yeah, this isn't a reward. I'm not the type of person that sees this as a reward, nor gets addicted to it. Now, here's where it gets a little bit crazy. Sometimes you have to indulge in said addiction so your brain knows you are not addicted. It is not something that's controlling you or gives you the reward, which is the crazy part. You have to do the thing you don't want to do to prove to your brain that is not something that controls you. And staying away from it in general is great, don't get me wrong. But you're also telling your brain that you are keeping it away from a quote-unquote reward. So if you're able to do said thing to prove to your brain that it's not a reward, it makes it so much easier not to have it in your life at all because your brain's not identifying it as a reward anymore. Like when you have a bad experience with anything and you're like, yeah, I'm never going to do that again. That's your brain